Ben-Hur takes place in 26 AD with Judah, Ben-Hur, played by Charlton Heston, in Jerusalem living with his mother and sister. During his travel, he falls for a woman called Esther, who's unfortunately taken, but it doesn't seem to stop her.
Move on.
He also becomes close with the new Roman commander, Messala. Probably a bit too close. Wow, complete Romosexuals. Yeah? Yeah?
There's no truth in the charge.
But apparently this was actually intentional. Or was it? There's actually a lot of speculation. One of the writers, Gore Vidal, claimed that he persuaded the director to have Stephen Boyd play his role as a spurned homosexual lover, with his vindictiveness being only motivated by the feeling of rejection that a lover would feel, and he also said that Charlton Heston should not be informed of this. It's never been confirmed whether Vidal actually wrote this scene or not, but the director did say that he never once had this conversation with him whatsoever.
What you mean you'll give me this? Shooter. You are good.
Can you just imagine, right, if the gay undertones were even more blatant and Charlton Heston still didn't catch on? Why are you putting your hand up my tunic? We're friends, aren't we, Judah? Anyway, back to the plot.
Oh, we've got a plot this year, have we?
During an accident causing a near-death experience, Judah is captured and becomes a slave for many years before escaping, saving a man on his way, becoming a hero. He gets adopted by the Emperor. Judah becomes a champion charioteer, but soon returns home, reconciles with Esther, discovers his dying mother and sister, and when attempting to visit Jesus to save them, he witnesses the famous crucifixion before they are somehow healed.
You say nothing to this?
The production of the film was announced in December of 1952, remaking the 1925 silent movie of the same name. Stuart Granger and Robert Taylor were considered for the lead, and shooting was planned to start in 1954. Sidney Franklin was lined up to direct, and Marlon Brando became the new lead. The script was estimated to be around $7 million, with the shoot starting in April of '56 in either Israel or Egypt, and taking up to 6 or 7 months. Unfortunately, Franklin fell ill and soon backed out, and production was postponed. Furthermore, financial difficulties held off production of the film further. However, Joseph Vogel, who was responsible for the 1956 film The Ten Commandments, heard of their troubles and again pushed forward Ben-Hur's production. Filming finally began in May 1958 and ended in January of '59, costing and exceeding $15.175 million, making it the most expensive movie ever made at the time.
And the rumors are true.
Based on Lew Wallace's novel from 1880, Ben-Hur, A Tale of the Christ, the book was 500 pages and the screenwriters decided to cut the story down a great deal. This was the story cut down? Around 12 different versions of the screenplay have been written and loads of big plot points were erased from the source material. In the novel, there's events after Jesus' crucifixion. Ben-Hur fakes his death and raises a Jewish army to take out the Romans, and the way the lepers were healed was also very different. The script was however deemed too pedestrian and unshootable.
In every way.
When director William Wyler was first approached to take on the film, he originally turned it down, calling the quality of the script primitive, elementary, and no better than the work of a hack. After being shown storyboards of the chariot race, he started to come around, and Cesare De Nova was then considered for the lead. Burt Lancaster was approached but turned it down, finding the script completely boring. He was also an atheist and said he just did not want to promote Christianity whatsoever, and he didn't like the violent morals within the story.
Tell me more about it.
Paul Newman turned it down because he didn't have the legs to wear a tunic. Bizarre reason. Actually, it was because he had already done a biblical film in 1954 called The Silver Chalice. But he also did say that that film was what made him realise he didn't have the legs to wear a tunic.
Why did he do that?
I don't know.
Rock Hudson, Jeffrey Horn and Leslie Nielsen were all offered it but said no, and Kirk Douglas showed interest but he was rejected in favour of Charlton Heston. Douglas was however offered the part of his bitch Messala, not that one, but he turned it down, not wanting to be somebody's sidekick. Others considered for the lead also consisted of Montgomery Clift, Tony Kurtzman, Van Johnson, Edmund Purdom and Videro Gassman. Director William Wyler also went on to say that one thing he couldn't seem to get Heston to do was cry on cue, so in every scene where this is required, he simply has to cover his face. I like it. To an extent.
We had given up all hope for you.
The first hour and a half is fantastic. The musical score is really strong, memorable and sets the tone, easily deserving the Academy Award. The music is so good and really complements the incredibly dark and graphic imagery that we see. The special effects are perfect and some of these scenes are really difficult to watch and see these people go through this much pain. Except, hi obvious blue screen! I personally thought that Charlton Heston was fantastic. Except for...
Don't be a fool, look to Rome! I would rather be a fool than a traitor or a killer. I am a soldier. Yes, who kills for Rome, and Rome is evil. I warn you! No!
No! I will do dramatic spins for the entire movie! No! 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 For every intense moment, he really nails it, especially here, and just look how casual the bad guy is.
You are evil.
Oh, Judah, I am not evil.
Oh, Judah, I just murder children. And here, he is such a badass. I mean, he fights a dude with fire, and then he jumps overboard into a ring of fire. No messing with the Heston. Yep. Copyrighted, put that on a t-shirt, send me the royalties.
You have no other choice.
The acting is all around fantastic. Except for this extra who can't even pass out properly. Oh, I'm falling. Oh, I'm about to fall. Oh, I'm weak. Oh, and this.
Is there a way down here?
Are you a madman? Keep well out of this place.
Are you an actor? Keep well out of the Oscars. The movie's strongest point in my view is the dialogue. I mean, it is incredibly well written and intelligent.
Judah, persuade your people that their resistance to Rome is stupid. It is worse than stupid, futile. For it can end in only one way, extinction for your people.
The scenery and sets are also so gorgeous to look at, but unfortunately, after the first 90 minutes, the film just gets incredibly difficult to sit through. I mean, this seems like a movie that was 3.5 hours long just for the sake of being 3.5 hours long. There's been many long films that required 3 hours, but after the first hour and a half, the plot here just sits still. There's constant scenes where nothing is being established. The characters don't learn anything new or face any conflicts, they don't make any changes, the story isn't moving forward, they're entirely pointless, it's just filler. I might have overlooked this if it wasn't for the fact that the scenes themselves I find painstakingly boring as well. And also, what the hell's with this?
What drove it out of you?
What was with that cut? They literally cut to the exact same shot. Speaking of transitions, they go all Return of the King with fake out endings too. Tell me this doesn't look like the movie's about to come to a close. Just end! This film took me 3 sittings to get through because it does grow so tedious. However, the famous chariot scene is phenomenal and worth the watch alone. Sergio Leone did some second unit work behind the scenes, and he actually claimed that he was the uncredited director behind this sequence, which was later proven to be nonsense, and he was exaggerating as he's known for doing so very often in the past.
Most of the men I talk to agree with me.
Honestly, these shots are terrific. The music, the lack of dialogue, this scene is fantastic, and you can see the influence it would have had on so many other sequences for the years to come. The film gets quite emotional in regards to Ben-Hur's family and the slaves, and even Jesus' crucifixion is difficult to watch. It's seriously disturbed.
See, not so bad once you're up. Always look on the bright side of life.
Jesus never speaks, and we're only ever shown him from behind, but it's always so memorable.
You! I said no water for him!
Step to me, and I will turn your blood into cat's urine. Although the audio sounds like blatantly dubbed for the whole film.
They've talked of nothing but you for days, ever since we knew you were coming.
Here's a marriage yet.
Suitors come and go, but she dreams.
And some of the fight scenes just really have not aged very well. They just come across as really awkward. This movie is definitely worth checking out for the chariot scene in the first hour and a half, but after that it just grows incredibly dull and boring for me. A decent film that could have easily snipped off an hour of its running time to go from decent to amazing.
Thank you.